You see, it was a usual match as said. Match the 19 of the Ghana Premier League between Instruction and Asante Kotoko. So we as journalists definitely had to go, particularly we from close proximity, had to go to the stadium and then make sure we cover what will unfold and what was going to happen before, during, and after the match. So when we get there, in fact, I got an initial indication that some even journalists were prevented from entering the stadium, even though they were showing their accreditation cards. So they indeed went back. The guys had supported bought tickets before they were given access to enter. So I went there prepared with a lot of accreditations to see. And a lot of people know me, so when I got there, I didn't face that problem. That's why I was able to get to side that I stood and then recorded that video from that angle also. So I got into the stadium, and then as we all know, I got into the stadium while certain incidents have happened, just like the bus incident. So we were briefed about the tensions and the situations and everything. But then it has not resulted in that chaotic manner as it later unfolded. So in the course of the game, you could feel that there is tension in and around the stadium. And then the tension got heightened after the first half ended 0-0. And the second half actually started in about few minutes that KOTOKO had made changes, bringing on
the call has been put on hold. Please wait.
Substitute.
The call has been put on hold. Please wait.
Came on, an incident happened during the run of play on the right side of the defensive half of KOTOKO, and then the player that took down, it looks as if it was Walid Neymar. So the player actually responded quickly by trying to trip Che Jamina, and then Che pushed him. So the player pushed back, and then whilst that thing was going on, the other players were far from the scene, so they had to run and rush to the scene. So the intensity and the aggression in which both sides approached the scene resulted in that kung fu fight, which in this video that I recorded, you can see the KOTOKO goalkeeper hitting about 4 or 5 players. Instructed players also retaliating, particularly just number 14 kicking and stamping on people's body, and then some other KOTOKO players like Justice Blessing in the video throwing water into the supporters, because while the incident was happening, the supporters were also throwing up into the field, into where the incident actually was going on. So recorded in the video, that was what happened. But in fact, when it was happening, this was inside the perimeter. Outside, there were tensions, but because this was going on inside the perimeter, it could have resulted in so much chaos outside the perimeter, which is where the stands and the fans were. But when I recorded the video, if you could recall, or if you watch the video, you can see that the stadium announcer by name Joel actually incited that nobody should record. So there were some people who were walking in within us to see those who have actually recorded something. And you see, I'm the same guy who recorded last year's controversial penalty that the referee awarded to Lions against the Chelsea, which actually got Olympics relegated and got Lions back into the league. So when I was there, I sensed that no, people can target me. Even if I don't record, they can say, since I'm there, it is possible I may record. And I was scared that maybe my phone may be seized. And I heard some fans saying, no, in quote, and then the span of the and then some people were saying, since Justice Blair has thrown water into the supporters, they are only waiting for the game to close. So I sense a lot of danger. And if you know where Insuatres Stadium is, it is very far from the town. It's not just at an outskirts. It is deep within. It's almost like, where is it? Like a bush. So when something happens, eventually it will be between you and your God. Nobody can come and save you there. And see, I had to leave. So on my way leaving, I stood at where the main gate entering the stadium from the VIP side was. And then Honorable Ignatius Bafo just passed by me. They opened that gate for him and he got to the field. He came actually from the very top of where the glasses were, where the glass is. So when he got onto the field, he started. He was trying to calm the situation from both sides, and again with the supporters. So I saw that, but when I turned to my opposite side, I saw Coach Kwesi Appiah, who responded with some hand gesture. and the fans who were around him stood up and were doing a gesture of no sign towards him. So I felt, because there were some rumors growing while the game was halted after that Kung Fu battle, that the KOTOKO could actually stop playing the game. So when that thing happened and I saw that, it suggested to me that maybe Kwesi Appiah has communicated through the signal that he made onto the field that KOTOKO shouldn't continue. That's why maybe the people there were saying no. But I later got to know through my investigations that Honorable Ignatius actually signaled him to step down and come onto the field with him with influence so that they can plead with both sides and calm the situation, of which those around him who were KOTOKO people prevented Kwesi Appiah from doing so. So
when you say Kwesi Appiah, is it
he's a board member, he's a management member for KOTOKO.
Okay, go ahead.
So I saw Honorable Ignatius Bafwewa again raising his arm, and instead when you see somebody on the field raising his arm up, not one, it looks as if he was cheering the supporters up. I mean, for the supporters to like, he was cheering them up. So what
allegedly, right?
I was able to deduce or interpret from that action was maybe he wanted them to change the narrative of that chaotic scene to make it seem like, they should continue supporting as normal, as if that nothing has happened, so that they can go ahead and then continue the game. Because while he was doing that, the game was halted. But some people, including a guy that I called personally, who was close to Kwesi Appiah, also said this side of the story to me, of which I'm a bit convinced, based on the reaction of Honorable Ignatius Bafwewa, that thing incited the fans actually, because there was some sort of anger. Because even though there were no fight as at the time that the Kung Fu thing was going on the field, even though the fans were not fighting, but I saw some people very angry there. And including there's one guy who has been circulating, particularly in the back video. His name is Santos, written on the back. He's wearing some Real Madrid 18 jersey. So the guy who reported even the incident to me said that guy, and I saw that guy plus some other guys, walked a certain guy out, fair-colored guy, short. They walked him out, and upon the indication while I was leaving, I saw that
now, Hussein,
maybe
Hussein, before we bring Alphonse in, just help us understand. So, what actually led to the fight? What you have termed as Kung Fu? What caused this whole problem?
So this is what I saw. After they took that guy out, it was reported to me that the same guys came again and took Pole out, the guy who actually kicked the bucket. So this is what we got to know when we got to the stadium, that his name was being mentioned even around the stadium, that is one guy they targeted, that he's been saying things that is not pleasant with them, they are not pleased with, and they don't want him to watch the game. So some sections of the fans wanted to walk him out earlier. So I saw him on my way leaving while he was standing in the midst of the KOTOKO fans where they were, and when I left, the guy reported to me that the same guy that took the fair guy that I saw outside were the same guy that came back, tried to pull him out, and then they eventually took him out. So they took him outside the stadium where the fans are. But the incident happened right at the gate. So the moment he got outside, the guy who stabbed him, whether he will use what machinery, what weapon, we don't know, but the guy who stabbed him was just right there. Maybe, I don't know, but the guys who took him there can actually identify who actually stabbed the guy.
Okay.
So,
yeah, but my point is that
was what actually happened.
Yes, Hussein, my question is, on the field, you recorded the fight on the field.
Yeah.
What triggered that fight between the players?
It was, KOTOKO are on top of the table, right? And in Swachema are battling for relegation. This was a home game. So there was a foul, a tackle, that Che Jamina took an instructed player down, and then he was trying to delay the process of a quick press start, because he wanted to actually start the game quickly to make sure they actually they can score, to try and score. So on his way 10, he was tripped. That instructor guy, one of the players, tried to trip him, and then he pushed the guy. So the guy pushed him back, and then all the other players rushed to the scene. And because of the aggression and the level of speed that they came with, that was what resulted to that brawl